leaked chaos spawn enemy, Majorus. All right, so yes, we have footage apparently of the chaos spawn, which is crazy. I've seen a few people talk about this, but I definitely wanted to point out that this new enemy throws a lot of melee attacks. So I kind of wanted to connect the dots a bit to kind of mention that, you know, fighting chaos might be a little bit better now that they actually have their own version of a bone sword enemy. Maybe it's a little bit closer to a lictor with psychic powers. Hey, regardless, this is definitely a great addition to chaos. It is a Majorus apparently, so this will be taking the place of, I guess, you know, Rubric Marines and Disc Shaman, you know, the Zangors. The thing is, now, it is still a very aggressive and potentially, you know, combo heavy enemy. So it's definitely one you can't just, you know, throw anything at. It's definitely something you're going to want to take time to understand what is going on here. We're going to take a look at it, but I just wanted to point out this moveset is very melee intensive. So I think this definitely puts us in a better position to get gun strikes, to get blocks, yeah, just ultimately get some good parries as well, so we can activate those gun strike, you know, bonuses. Because, yeah, the sniper, like, for example, has a perk where if you get a gun strike, you get extra damage. Well, against chaos, you don't really get enough gun strikes to, you know, really compare it to, like, getting gun strikes against Tyranids, because practically every fight with Tyranids, you will have a gun strike. With chaos, a lot of chaos enemies, besides, I guess, Zangors, obviously, are going to give you positions to get parries, but you still don't really get gun strikes against them unless you know, throw a melee attack or two. But yeah, ultimately, people really wanted chaos to be able to melee more. And now we're in a position to see, you know, a chaos enemy non-stop, by the way, throw melee attacks. So we're going to take a look at the footage. We're going to take a look at the leaked footage. I'm not too sure how they got this. This isn't like just code. This is an actual video clip of somebody fighting this thing. And you can tell right from the, you know, right from the start that this thing is definitely going to be very fun to fight. But yeah, it's pretty combo heavy. All right, so this is the chaos spawn right here. Let's pause. Look at this thing. The little wings. Oh my god, dude. Also, this thing is ugly, dude. It's ugly because it doesn't even seem to have like a face, really. It just has like a tentacle out of the face and then giant arm, little wings on the back. Dude, this thing is weird, guys. This thing is this finished? I guess this probably isn't a finished model, right? But yeah, this is such a great clip. Also, wait, hold on. What is up with this sniper cape? Did anyone talk about this sniper cape? Is that... Yeah, that's the same cape, right? Dude, I don't know why, but this cape kind of looks like they changed something about it. All right, whatever. Let me stay on subject here. Now, yeah, obviously, as you can see, there are melee attacks here. So I assume since there's no orange, you can parry this. So you can parry this, get a gun strike, you know, hopefully make sure you activate your gun strike bonuses and stuff against chaos. That's also really, you know, very important, is just the fact that there's so many perks that can kind of center around buffing yourself with gun strikes, whether it's damage or hyper armor. You just can't really see that as often against chaos. Okay, sorry guys, I don't want to yeah, see, boom, right there, that gun strike is huge. That is such a big deal against chaos right now because, yeah, chaos is obviously just a lot of range spam. A lot of people think that that's obviously going to be some AoE attack that you should probably avoid. Likely similar to like the fire cyclones. Let's see that animation again just so we know, because right after the gun strike, then he, yeah, well actually this, I don't even think this player, okay, no, this is a regular cape, my bad guys. I'm pretty sure, yeah, is this, oh man, I keep going back on this cape. I don't know. Also, the clipping on this is kind of crazy. Okay, whatever. Dude, honestly, I would really hope they can give us an option to color capes. But all right, so sorry. This AoE attack is definitely pretty interesting. You did see the orange right there, so that was definitely something you should avoid. And yeah, as long as this enemy just keeps, approaching you with melee attacks, dude, I have to admit, this texture on it is so like, it's gross. I don't know what it is. It's definitely not done. Obviously, guys, it's definitely not done. But like still, the fact that this enemy is so ready just to gun strike you, it might be done. I don't know. I would hope this. Oh yeah, yeah. I would hope. Yeah, this is not done. Okay, yeah, this is not done. Okay, but yeah, the fact that this enemy can throw so many melee attacks at you to put you in a position for getting more gun strikes is very nice. Is very nice against Chaos, because this is definitely something we needed against Chaos, is just something that we can interact with parries, with blocks. But yeah, with this enemy is a major, so this enemy will be taking the place of Rubic Marines and the like. Oh, I like how they jumped in that just to show us how much damage it did. So yeah, as you can see on activation here, he's actually getting some chip damage. So yeah, even more chip damage from Chaos, which is fine. But yeah, see, once he steps into the circle, he gets damaged, and it goes down incrementally. But you still get contested health here. Dude, use your camo, heal. But okay, yeah, I like those jump attacks. Those are good. Yeah, anyway, this enemy, my point with this new enemy is the fact that this new enemy is capable of throwing so many melee attacks, obviously is going to put us in a better position to get gun strikes, which puts us in a better position to get damage bonuses from those perks. And I guess against Chaos, this could be something that is like good to see, because a lot of melee players are kind of annoyed with Chaos because of the range spam mostly. And, you know, overall chip damage can be a little bit of a struggle as well. Dude, honestly, Chaos, in my theory right now, this looks like a fun enemy to fight. My theory is this enemy is going to make Chaos a little bit more bearable and maybe even more fun to fight. Maybe. Huh, I thought they'd be a lot bigger. Still, they look more fun to fight than the average 1,000 Sun. Yes, this is the highest upvoted comment. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people noticed that, you know, when they swing that many melee attacks, it definitely puts us in a good position to activate bonuses. Not to mention, even just getting something as small as a perfect dodge is kind of rare against Chaos enemies as well. I have noticed, though, that, you know, some Chaos, especially, obviously, the Rubic Marines, sometimes you can actually get a nice parry and gun strike against them, because I feel like whenever they teleport, they try to teleport behind you for a melee attack. However, I have seen, you know, obviously, Rubic Marines teleport into fire cyclones. So yeah, overall, nobody really enjoys fighting Chaos. I enjoy fighting Chaos. Sometimes it depends on my build. I definitely notice when it comes to, you know, siege mode, I've definitely noticed some melee builds, even, you know, kind of like melee sub builds, or, you know, like basically hybrid melee ranged builds like Vanguards. Even the Assault class, if you kind of want to count the fact that the Assault can put up like 10,000 damage with the Plasma Pistol pretty easily. But yeah, obviously, the hybrid melee ranged classes can kind of be rough against Chaos, because it can effectively put you in a bad position for melee. Pretty much like all the time, you're pretty much approaching Terminators or Rubic Marines. You're pretty much approaching them as they have the advantage of, you know, ranged fire, especially Terminators. Terminators are a pain to approach, regardless of how you look at it, because it's like they have the, you know, obviously they have the machine gun, the minigun. That is an extremely tough weapon to try to gain some ground against, and then the rockets as well. So those are obviously extremist enemies. I just think it's nice that you know what? That enemy did seem very aggressive. I think that enemy in siege mode is actually going to be pretty difficult to deal with because of how aggressive it is, and then not to mention AoE attacks. So I will admit, when I'm thinking about this, you know, this enemy making Chaos a little bit more fun, I am definitely thinking about operations. Now, when it comes to siege mode, I'm not too sure if you guys ever, you know, got into a fight with 2 lictors, but it can potentially be very frustrating missing either a dodge or a parry or whatever, and get immediately comboed on because they do not stop swinging. I feel like the Chaos spawn that we just saw even attacks more than those enemies. Like 100%, I think the Chaos spawn swings more melee attacks than the Lictor. At least Tyranid extremists kind of run away for a bit, you know what I mean? What we just saw from the Chaos spawn, it does not run away. It just keeps swinging. So honestly though, I'll take it. Anything with Chaos that makes melee a little bit more attainable is definitely something that I'm interested in, and the reason why I think the Chaos spawn is going to do that is because of its non-stop melee aggression. So anyone who's actually a melee build should be in a better spot to fight against that thing, rather than like a Terminator, perchance. You know, Terminator, again, very, very frustrating to try to approach that when they are spamming rockets, effectively making it really difficult to get into melee range. I mean, I guess you could use grapple, but you can still get hit by rockets, right? But hey, anyway, a chaos spawn enemy that is going to give chaos something we can actually parry on the regular is going to be huge. Not to mention blocking stacks and, you know, everything that has to do with perfect dodging also is going to be very relevant against this enemy. Yeah, to be completely honest, this enemy may fix chaos, or at the very least make chaos more fun. The moveset reminds me of a Lictor, which is good, as chaos could really do with more aggressive majors between how passive Chaos Marines are and how range focused the Enlightened Goat can be. All right, yeah, that is definitely what I was thinking as well. Once, you know, I saw the leaks, and at first I was kind of like, oh no, because I figured, hey, new chaos enemy, they're probably going to be tough to deal with. People don't like chaos anyway, and yeah, they're probably going to be annoyed. but as soon as I started to see the moveset, it definitely clicked. I was like, oh wow, this is actually a melee enemy with chaos. Finally we have something that's not a Zangor that you can actually melee, you know what I mean? So this is definitely something that is going to be an overall positive for chaos. I'm glad that I see so many people on the same page here. We're pretty much all under the agreement this is going to be good for fighting against chaos, just because chaos, obviously, as they mentioned here, can be a little bit passive. To me, it's just it's more about how much range chip damage they put on the board. It can kind of be overwhelming for melee builds to try to approach chaos. But yeah, overall, this is definitely going to be something that is a good addition to chaos, because obviously this means more perfect dodges, more gun strikes, more blocking. Obviously, the AoE attacks from the chaos spawn can be a little bit threatening, but we will see. We will see how it ends up. Now, when it comes to siege mode, I am not looking forward to seeing like 4 of those on the board, to be completely honest. But we will see. We will see how that turns out. It's going to be interesting as the game continues to progress. With the addition to siege mode, we definitely have now other elements of the game to be worried about. Normally with operations, obviously it's like, oh, I mean, you know what, now that I think about it, in operations, you can likely still see a handful of chaos spawn also, but regardless, in siege mode, there's definitely going to be more chaos spawn in siege mode than operations. And I'm not too sure how how an aggressive enemy like that is going to complement each other. Like when we see 5 or 6 chaos spawn, I can imagine that can be pretty crazy. I'm not too sure what their break points are or anything like that. We will see. But yeah, ultimately, the fact that we can actually get a regular source of gun strikes now, a regular source of blocking stacks from chaos enemies, this could potentially, fix how to fight chaos from like a lot of builds. So we will see. Definitely let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this. Do you think the chaos spawn looks a little bit too threatening? Are you afraid to see like 12 of them on the board against in siege mode? Dude, honestly, chaos siege mode is definitely a little bit difficult, but with chaos spawn it might be a little bit more difficult. We will see. Regardless, I think this is going to make chaos, fighting chaos more fun. And if that's the case, then I'm not too afraid of an incremental difficulty increase, because if I'm having more fun, I'm definitely more interested in playing the game in general. So, I'm not too worried about difficulty at that point. I guess it depends. But hey, I'm honestly really excited to parry and gun strike that thing. Eventually, we will be able to. I believe next patch, maybe. But hey, regardless, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about it. And thanks for watching.